person or a bad person. It is my perspective. So it means all the information that I have told you about you is from me, right? It is my own perspective. So when I'm on social media and I'm there and I'm abusing a person, that all information is not from them. No, it's not. It is from you. So and if something, ukiingia kwa nyumba usikie kuna harufu mbaya, hiyo harufu inatoka nje, inatoka ndani, unaanza kuitafuta wapi? Uko ndani. So kama uko ndani yako ndio unatoa hii ukali yote na hii harufu mbaya yote unaproject kwa social media, kumaanisha who needs to be corrected? Yourself.
And starting is not easy because you may start even you fail, not once.
100%.
Not once.
And it's not you may start and have to fail.
You,
My man, you have to
fail. Right.
Like failure is a compulsory in this game, in this life. Hakuna kila kitu yenye uenda nywe. See, lazima ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba. Ndio next time usome.
Correct.
Wajua? It's very few people who have been able to marry their first love.
Sure.
If it's in the relationship game. Well, we are talking about mastering the art of starting. And if you can see, in the events that I have been having, they are intertwined, and I'm taking you through a journey. If you watch my first event, which is Living the Dream, and then watch Mastering the Art of Starting, and then the one that is coming up, which is the Algorithm of Success, these things are building up. I'm not just dropping information for the sake of dropping information. I'm there and I'm thinking, now that I've told you this, what is the next thing you need to know?
Sure.
What is the next thing that you need to know? What is your next step? What is the next thing that you do? And I'm taking you through this journey. So I told you in mastering the, in living the dream, don't chase the dream, live it. And then I told you how to live it, you start it. And I told you the mastering the art of starting. Yes. Now when you're starting, you're going somewhere. Now I am teaching you the algorithm of getting there. Now that you have started, now that you have the guts to start, what is the network that you need to switch into? What is your frequency? What is the energy that you need to propel you to that direction? So that's why I'm teaching you the mindset. So that you now start in the right way. You start in the right state and get there. So going back to our experiences. So this is what happened to me, and this is part of why starting sometimes is very hard, So when I went to high school, my dad told me when he was living with a kid, the last words he told me, my son, remember, the speed that you start with determines how far and how fast you go.
Sure.
But I never hit the words. I was carried by the wave of school. And then by the time I'm getting to Form 3, that is when I realized, damn, I'm almost finishing school. Hey, tunafaa kuchangamka man. Kenye nilileta shule hatujafanya bado. We need to get to work.
Yeah? You don't realize what is happening.
So we are like, we need to work. And then we got to work, And looking at that, there are a few things that actually hinder us from starting. And if you look at them, the first thing is fear. Like we've said, you're fearing to say hi, you're fearing to look bad. You're fearing because your idea is still young and no one appreciates it, because it's hard also. So you have all this fear.
Sure.
Another thing is the lack of discipline. You don't have discipline. You're like, I know I have this idea. I want to start a business. I want to start a grocery. I want to start shining people's shoes. I want to start doing all these things. But then you're postponing it. Leo kunanyesha. Nani anaenda soko na hiyo? Taanza next week kama kwa amecheza chini. Siku nyingine unaamka saa 2 uko like, nishachelewa. You move it. You will never start with procrastinating. So that is the lack of discipline. But where I'm coming to is the environment that you surround yourself with is very important. And it determines if you're ever going to be successful or not. Because if you're not able to start stuff, you're not able to go into the broad waters, if you're not able to be risky enough, then success also will be timid towards you, will hold itself back because you're holding yourself back. You meet in the middle. You give 100%, it gives you 100%. You give 20, it gives you 20. So if you're not able to start stuff, then success will only be something that you talk about and dream about, right? So, but the environment that you surround yourself with is crucial, you know, because this is the environment that either helps you to start or kills your dreams of starting. You know, you go to, just assess in the environment that you're in. When you tell your friends and the people around you, hey guys, I have this idea. I want to start a YouTube channel, and I want to be talking about leaves. You know, how leaves and flowers parade and fit into our environment, and how they are shaped into some magnificent, you know, like you're obsessed about leaves. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't do leaves anyway. But that is your idea. That is your idea of doing a YouTube. What is the response of your friends? What is the response of your circle? Eh? Wanakwambia wewe toka hapa, hizo ni nini nafikiri? Tangu lini ukaona mtu kwa YouTube anafanya nini? It makes sense. So when you tell your friends even the stupidest idea, what do they tell you? Well, you need friends who actually don't lie to you. Yes. Hawakuchochi, but pia ni mabeshte wenye wanakusaidia they can see it, it's an idea, so they are contributing. They're like, okay, we want to talk about leaves. So why do you want to talk about leaves? Who is your target audience? How do you want to shoot it? How can I help? Those are the friends you need in your circle. But you can't do it. Who has ever done it? Well, before 2004, who had ever had a Facebook before? Before 2003, who had a Gmail account? Right? Even before now, you give us a YouTube channel about leaves. Who had it before? But YouTube, Facebook, Gmail are all valid ideas today because they were started. But your circle, is it fueling that? And when I talk about your circle, there are the friends. Now, when we got here, we had like a 30-minute chat. And that was a powerful chat. It was just me and you. And it means when we sit together, and even when we come together, me, you, Marcel, MCA, MD, and all these people that are within our circle, you can feel the conversations that are taking place in that room are very powerful conversations, right? So in the conversations that you have with the people around you, what are they? Because we engage in conversations that are criticizing people and killing other people's dreams, not realizing when you kill someone's dream, you kill yours too. Because when you say it's impossible to start a Lips channel, you're telling yourself also it is impossible to start another Cheers channel. It is impossible to start another whatever channel, yes. Right? Yes. Because when you're disqualifying that, you're also disqualifying something in your head. Yes. You know? So what are the conversations? Are you also look at how is your life on social media? Are you the person who is just insulting everybody on social media? See, when you insult somebody, that is an expression of you. Like I told you, when I tell you you're a nice person or a bad person, it is my perspective. So it means all the information that I have told you about you is from me, right? It is my own perspective. So when I'm on social media and I'm there and I'm abusing a person, that all information is not from them. No, it's not. It is from you. So, and if something, ukiingia kwa nyumba usikie kuna harufu mbaya, hiyo harufu inatoka nje ama inatoka ndani, unaanza kuitafuta wapi? Uko ndani. So kama uko ndani yako ndio unatoa hii ukali yote na hii harufu mbaya yote una project kwa social media, kumaanisha who needs to be corrected? Yourself, right? So also watch in your own social media space. Are you in the groups that you terrorize too? You terrorize people left, right and center? Because in that group, ile harufu mbaya unatoa ndio unapigwa nayo. So you will never be able to start anything. You will never be able to start anything. Also, look at when Bob Ali passed of college. We came to this realization that Bob had a boys club. And it was popular back then and everybody was talking about boys club. But if you take a critical look at that boys club, everybody in that club is accomplished. It is a person who has done something with their life. And that is the circle that was surrounding the best CEO back then we had. Right? There was a veteran journalist. There were moguls in business. And then there was Joshua Igara, also an awesome businessman. Right? So these are people who, when they are seated, you can, like, the amount of energy that's coming from that room, they can do anything. When Bob steps up in that conversation and says, "Hey guys, I think I want to start this," what do you think will be the comment of those guys? Back up, exactly, and that's how you get to start stuff. So if in these conversations you put yourself in rooms that are demeaning you, then you will never get off where you want to go. You will never start. Get yourself in the right boys club. And also get yourself in the boys club of who you want to become.
Correct.
Right?
Wonderful. I love I love that conversation.
Yeah.
Let us proceed on.
So those are the things. So, and then also about starting, you need to also check your internal narratives and your mindset, which comes into what we have been talking about. But internal narratives address something more about what are the stories that you tell yourself. Now, I have told you about things that people tell you and meaning. But what do you tell yourself as Isaac?
When you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, when you look into that mirror, do you look into the mirror and see a failure? Do you look into a mirror and see a success? Do you look into the mirror and see a struggling person or a thriving person? Do you look into a mirror and see a lovable person or a region? You know, what is the story that's taking place in the heart? And these things get tested, especially when you know, it's funny when you're in therapy and you're having all this conversation, psychology and everything. You see, when someone is rejected and they feel themselves as a reject, that is not the first time they felt as a reject. If you dig deeper,
Yes.
the rejection is from somewhere way deeper, way deeper. You know, there is a way bigger experience where they got scarred, and now they are very sensitive to rejection. That's why they are able to spot rejection. Today morning I read a quote that says, energy goes where the eyes see. No. It goes according to sight. So when I look at this glass, my concentration comes to this glass.
Yes.
So when I look at a reject, my concentration goes to rejection.
Yes.
Right? So what are the stories that you tell yourself in your head? Right? Because these are stories that actually define everything and your approach, and they shape your mindset to a big extent. Are you the person who hits a wall and then gives up and says, there's a reason this wall is here, because people are not supposed to pass from here? Or are you the person who is like, well, what I want is on the other side. There is a wall. I know maybe they didn't want someone to pass from here, but I need to get to what I want.
Sure.
So do I jump over it? Do I bust it through, or do I go around it? Do I dig a hole? And how do I approach this? And it's because of the stories that you told yourself. Because when you look at a wall, you tell yourself, look, I am bigger than the wall. I can conquer this thing.
Sure.
Or the other person looks at it and is like, I don't think this wall is way mightier than me.
Iko na uzito.
Hii wall siwezani. Unaona? So what are the stories that are going on in your head? What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? It's very important. If you want to be a guru at starting,
Yes.
make sure that the stories that you're telling yourself are powerful stories, are stories of conquering, are stories of victory, stories of winning. You know, it is funny that you're handsome, you're beautiful, you have a nice smile, you have nice eyes, but the day you have a small pimple on your forehead, you will spend hours and hours before the mirror trying to crack it, trying to cover it with makeup and all this stuff, forgetting that damn, you have a smile.
Oh my.
You know? And it's because you're just looking at the bad things that you have. It's because your stories are telling you when you have a pimple, you're not perfect. This is what your head is telling you. People will reject you, people will not. But you have a very nice smile. People will not even notice the pimple. When you just smile, it's everything.
Oh my
You know?
goodness.
when you just look at people in the eyes, they'll be like, "Oh, this girl has some nice eyes." They won't notice you have a pimple, but because you stress yourself over this and you tell yourself these stories of not being perfect, these stories of being rejected, these stories of people looking at you with bad eyes, these stories of, you know, sometimes people even don't care. You worry about how you've dressed all along, and then you walk into an office and they won't even remember what you had worn.
Sure.
Because it's not even in fact, but for you it was a big story in your head. Do I wear this shirt? Why do I? You have all these things that you're telling yourself in the head. You have to check that, because that serves as a big barrier into you venturing into bigger chances, into bigger opportunities, into doing greater things, because you're telling yourself that I don't deserve that, that I can't do that. How many times have you been in a place where you're electing a leader of a group, of a name, something small, and then you tell someone, will you be a leader, and they say no, I can't be a leader. That is a bad narrative. And these people want to have families. You have to be a leader to lead a family.
Sure.
Right? But the stories they're telling themselves, they are not leaders. So when they get into the marriage,
Yes.
and they are called upon to serve as the leader of the family, they are like, no, I'm not the leader.
Yes.
You understand?
Watching from far.
You're watching from because of what they
They
incapacitate themselves, they
Yes.
cripple themselves in the head. So you need to check the narrative. 100%. Narratives are super critical.
Yes.
What do you tell yourself when you look into the mirror? When you face a challenge, what do you tell yourself? I use the example of when you go into an office with a project, you know, with a big proposal, and you give it and you explain it and do all these things, and they just take it and toss it into the dustbin. What do you tell yourself? Do you tell yourself, this is my end? Or do you tell yourself, it's okay, throw it into the dustbin, what is the next thing I can do? Right? Because if you tell yourself this is your end, 100% it's your end. Confucius said it very well. He who thinks he can and he who thinks he cannot, both of them are right. So it's up to you to choose. It's up to you to decide. Can I or can I not? If you choose you can, 100%. Like you've said you want to be a billionaire.
Yes.
If you choose you can, 100%.
Yes.
100%. It is a narrative. You tell it in the book of Think and Grow Rich. They say, repeat this idea over and over in your head, because ideas seek realization by themselves. Because as I told you, ideas are spiritual. Ideas are not just stuff that drops on your head just like this.
Sure.
You know? And when it drops on your head and you repeat it over and over and you obsess over these ideas, it will start seeking its own realization.
Yes.
And you will find yourself having this drive to walk into these spaces, to start these things, to meet these people. And it's just happening to you because you're telling yourself the right stories, and they are shaping you, and they are pushing you, and they are directing you to the right space that you need to go into.
Sure.
But if you do not, if you tell yourself the negative, then it starts pushing you away from, you've had these stories of, he had a good wife, but he failed her. He let her go. Why? Because you had a good wife, you couldn't see it, you are telling yourself stories of, I don't deserve this, I can't match this, I am not a leader in this home, and blah and blah and blah, and the good wife
It's gone.
vanishes. Right? He had the best career, but alifanya nini? Alilewa yote ikaisha. Because of the things that this is everything that's happening in your head. You know? You think you need to get drunk for you to be capable of doing things, for you to be, I can't do this without this, I can't. No! Just tell yourself the right story that there is nothing you will not be able to start.
Sure.
You will be able to start everything from A.
Even above them. Those are just vocabulary.
The people said them. Well,
Sports.
tunaweza sema pia kuna Z1.
Kama umesema how to take water,
Eh?
it's still on YouTube with so many
And just Google it. You see, you'll see it.
How to shape
So for me, that is why starting is so important. It's
Yes.
critical because it shapes everything.
Yes.
It is the first step. It is crucial to take the first step.
Yes.
So, and basically that's why we've been talking about it. This month has been all about it. Next month we graduate to something else. Now you can start. Now how do we quickly become our champion? now you can run a race. You have started. You have decided I want to be a sprinter. I want to do 100 meters. How do you break the record? What is the mindset that Bolt had to break the record? What is the mindset that someone like Rudisha? What is the mindset of Alright?
Kipchoge.
Kipchoge, yes. What is the mindset of Kipchoge? How does Kipchoge get to do these things? Because there is a formula to these things. So how do we get to do that? So basically that's what we've been talking about.